The Franchise, episode number 194. This is your host, the D-Chain. That's right, Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what we're doing this week. Daniel Ehrenberg over here in Brooklyn. Henry Papali over there in New Jersey. Henry's watching this first one for the first time ever. I'm watching the second one for the first time ever. And we're going to say a nice hello again to our old friend, the Tobster, Tobe Hooper. And welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome, everybody. It is episode 194. That's right. I'm not going to attempt a pun on my name. I guess you're the D Chain. I'm the H Saw.
Sure, fine.
Sure.
Fine by me, buddy.
Yeah. We're doing a big franchise here. 8 movies brought to you by, sponsored by Evil Chris.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's give Evil Chris a shout out. He's the one who chose this franchise, and he just followed me on Letterboxd, so I want to say thank you to him.
Oh, all right. So he now knows everything you watch and what you think of it.
That's right.
All right.
You know now that I gave Fantasy Island 3 stars.
They knew before I knew.
They did, yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're going to start this great franchise, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's 8 of them. This week, we're doing the ones with artistic merit. The 2 of 8.
Okay, we'll figure that out as we go along. Artistic merit, huh?
Mm-hmm,
all right.
Lots of it.
Wow. Okay. I am foreseeing in the stars, Uri Geller, a disagreement upon these movies.
I'm seeing in the stars lots of stars coming at these movies from my end. Mm-hmm.
And once again, the horror franchise brings about the different tastes in what Dan and I want sometimes.
Sometimes Henry wants something less interesting.
Sometimes Daniel loves goofy shit.
Goofy shit. Now, I hope you're at least talking about the second one.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes. I have things with the first one we'll get into too, but the second one.
All right, well, let's talk about the first one, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Now, that's 5 words, Henry. Chain and saw separated. A big franchise pet peeve of mine when franchises change titles midstream. Because chainsaw's 1 word in all these other movies.
I noticed that right away. I thought that was really bizarre. And I just attributed it to, at the time, the guy, maybe he didn't know how to spell, or maybe it was something with the Chiron. They couldn't get the.
I think it could go either way, man. I just think like between 1974 and 1986, 12 years passed. The first movie had fallen into legend almost.
Yeah.
And I think people remembered it as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and chainsaw as 1 word is the usual spelling. Right.
Yeah.
To people among us who aren't carpenters or something, or what do they call those guys who cut down trees? Lumberjacks.
Sure.
Lumberjacks.
Sure. Yeah. Lumberjacks.
And don't forget my lumberjills out there.
Lumberjacks. Oh man, lumberjills.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Check out Joe, the Nick Cage movie. This one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a lumberjack in that. Tobe.
Yeah, so is the guy in The Outsider.
The Outsider. Oh, what? Who, the guy who's morphing into the other guy?
His brother.
Oh, his brother. Okay. Man, The Outsider, a real good 7-episode series stretched into 10 episodes.
It's a little long in the tooth, but I'm not minding.
I'm minding.
You're minding?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about him, the Tobster. We've talked about him before with Poltergeist, but let's talk about a movie that he was allowed to actually direct.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty evident here. I think you can see.
Does Texas Chainsaw Massacre not have the same style and tone as Poltergeist?
It's not even close. And I got to tell you, it's got nothing to do with money.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have known this, so
Because I think
never
some
saw
of
this
the
before.
shots in Texas Chainsaw are beautiful. Like, I think it's a professionally made movie. I just it's trying to be like down and dirty and shit.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, right. I had never seen it, so when I was looking at the way, just trying to focus on some of the direction, I was just like, there's no way he directed Poltergeist, because we talked about that a lot when we covered Poltergeist, and I can't even buy it anymore, man. It's like a no-brainer that he was. I don't know what Spielberg was taking the.
I feel like Spielberg was like, Tobe, let's use a dolly in this scene, and Tobe was like, dolly?
You mean Parton?
Jesus. All right, so Texas Chainsaw, I mean, it's his second film overall, but I don't think anyone in the world has ever seen Eggshells.
Wow. Yeah. No. Not me.
I mean, we've talked about this, dude. We could go through it pretty quick. Eaten Alive, I haven't seen, but I think it's a crock movie. Salem's Lot's a thing. I watched it when I was younger. The Fun House. He's a lot of horror movies.
He did Salem's Lot?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I never saw that. Okay.
Life Force, the great sexual space vampire movie. Invaders from Mars. I don't know. And then, like, he kind of went on to do nothing. Did a bunch of Stephen King bullshit. Did another crocodile movie. He made some real shitty, gory horror movies in the aughts. And that was about it, man. He wrapped up his life with, a djinn movie. I think that's like an evil genie situation.
Oh, yeah. Sure it is. Mm-hmm. There's lots of those with that exact title.
Well, I mean, the Jinn is the main killer in the Wishmaster franchise.
Yeah.
Which we can cover someday. Wes Craven presents Wishmaster.
Okay. Yeah. You could literally go on to like Netflix, Tubi, Amazon Prime, and fucking type in Jinn, and there's like 6 different movies that come up that are totally not related to one another.
People like it. Popping that J after the D. That's spooky.
It's a silent D train right there. That's right.
I like it. If we ever cover Jinn, let me be that.
You're set.
I'm all set. Need a
nickname. Yeah.
Did you know that Tobe Hooper's real name is Willard Hooper?
No, but
that's a fun fact.
That's perfect. That's fucking perfect.
By the way, IMDb says he died at the age of 74 of natural causes. Who dies at 74 of natural causes? How the fuck was this guy living?
I don't know. He could have had a heart attack.
It would say heart attack. That's not a natural cause. To me, natural cause, it's like you go to sleep and you just fade away.
You're right. And you know what? Honestly, I don't really believe anymore that the term natural causes was one of those things that was said all the time when I was growing up and like even as a teenager. And now it's like it's a euphemism for like the actual cause of death. What's a natural cause?
Well, I think you just get old enough and your heart gives out.
Well, sure, but that's what something caused you to die.
Age. To me, natural causes is when you die of getting really old. And I mean, how did Tobe Hooper is 60 years younger than the grandfather in these Texas Chainsaw movies?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So he co-wrote this movie with Kim Henkel, and you might be thinking, "Hey, cool, he worked with a lady." No, it's a dude.
No. That made more sense when I watched the movies. That it was.
Of course, it's a dude. He's got this big white mustache. I don't know, man. It looks like a mugshot here on IMDb.
I don't know that a woman would have really written characters like this in the 70s.
These are great characters. What about Deborah Hill, bro? These characters aren't that far removed from the Halloween people.
No, they're not. Which one is Deborah Hill?
The lady who co-wrote Halloween.
Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. I was literally thinking you were talking about one of the characters
in Deborah Hill.
Yeah. These ones aren't quite as fleshed out as Laurie Strode or any of that.
They're definitely not as fleshed out. There's no nudity in this baby.
No.
Is there?
No, but I mean, the one is wearing quite an outfit for most of the.
There's not a bra to be seen in this movie. Yeah, but nobody gets full nude.
No, there's not. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
This came out October 11th, 1974. And the budget was $140,000. We think. We don't have like an exact figure.
Yeah.
It's around that.
Sure.
So Tobe Hooper started writing this under the working titles Head Cheese and Leatherface.
Yeah.
Interesting, he liked that two words crammed together, but then confronted by the word chainsaw, separated into two words.
He figured maybe he likes even numbered things. So, chain saw Texas Chain Saw Massacre 4. He's either going to go 2 or 4.
I like it. It's like it's like dudes who like can't listen to the volume on an odd number.
Jesus,
that's a thing.
People like that?
Yeah,
really. I wouldn't know because I crank everything to the absolute max.
Ooh, listen to this guy.
Yeah, it's true.
Fucking edgelord Papali over here. So Hooper was inspired by Ed Gein, who was a serial killer. I don't know much about him because I'm not one of these fucking weirdos that knows about serial killers. I know you're out there listening, and I judge you.
Anything I know about that kind of stuff is like Mindhunter or Silence of the Lambs, and then features about those movies, and they'll be like, "Well, we took from Ed Gein," and then they'll be like, "Oh, okay." And there's some good docs out there about serial killers.
There's docs, sure, but like
most of them are turn-offs.
I'm not watching that fucking Gacy biopic they made years ago. It was bad enough. I sat through fucking Dahmer with Jeremy Boring Renner.
What? Jeremy Renner played Jeffrey Dahmer?
That was like one of the first things. It was by the guy who directed Down in the Valley. It was his debut before that movie.
My God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Renner in that fucking
It's not worth watching.
I wouldn't watch it. Yeah. I think that I'm not a true crime guy really, but I like I
like a true crime though. But I like where, hey, we're stealing from the McDonald's Monopoly contest. That's what I'm interested in. I don't need I took your face off and I jerked off with it or something.
And yet, these movies, you're okay.
These are great movies.
You're on board.
Yeah,
you're on board.
I'm fully on board.
There's no problem.
Okay, so one of Tobe Hooper apparently had a rich friend who invested $60,000 in this movie in exchange for 50% of the profits. So he made out like a fucking bandit on this baby.
Yeah.
Apparently, the profits for the rest of the crew, a 20-person crew, divided between 20 people, amounted to $8,100.
A piece or
nope,
divided. Wow.
Yeah, so no one got rich off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They got hosed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I'll tell you what, it made some money. Came out in October of 74, made $30.9 million total. It was the number 12 movie at the box office in 1974.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
People went to see this.
Yeah, I still couldn't grasp that, even after I watched it, just trying to think of that time in that year. And, that's Godfather 2. It's a year before Jaws. I guess The Exorcist.
Yeah, but you still got horny teens, bro. You got these horned up teens. They're going to the... it's 1974. They're drive-ins still a big thing.
Yeah, sure.
They're going... yawn, and then putting their arm around the person, right? And then maybe groping them a little bit, and maybe she doesn't mind.
Yawn grope.
I bet you a lot of HJs happened during this movie in 1974.
It's not going to shock me.
No?
Yeah.
No.
It's probably happened. Yeah.
Okay, so you ready to talk about it?
I'm ready. Am I incorrect? Did it not make any lists?
No lists.
All right, I'll turn off the recording board that I have here set up. I was fully prepared for that. That's quite all right. Let's get into it.
Okay. I mean, it's a slasher movie from 1974, so obviously we got to open with some John Larroquette narration.
Dude, that was so fucking weird. I didn't even. I got to tell you, I didn't recognize his voice.
He's uncredited. He just did it as like a favor.
Oh, he's not uncredited.
He's credited in it?
Yeah. They gave it to him at the end. Yeah. It's weird.
You fan of John?
We've talked about him before. The Madhouse, John Larroquette.
Night Courts, John Larroquette.
Yeah, you remember Madhouse with Kirstie Alley?
Was that a TV show?
That was a movie.
Oh, really? I just know that, like, Hollywood, I mean, the TV industry gave John Larroquette about 14 TV shows at one point.
Yeah.
Like, in a row.
Night Court was, he played Dan Fielding.
Listen to you.
Where that came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the Horn Dog.
Then he followed that up with the John Larroquette Show.
Yeah, when that came
There
out.
was one called Pain that only lasted one season. His name was probably like Tom Paine or something.
No. Payne.
That's right. And then there was also, I don't know. I feel like there were shows where he had white hair. There was one called Me, Myself, and I, where it was like it was one character at 3 different ages of his life, and we'd cut between them. And so there was like a kid, and then middle, he was Bobby Moynihan, and then he was John Larroquette.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I watched every ep, dude.
At all.
There were like 6.
Jesus.
Yeah, it got canceled real fast on the CBS Monday night lineup, Henry.
Ooh.
That's right. He is also on The Librarians. He was on a show called The Brink on HBO. He was a lot of TV work, Henry.
Yeah, Mr. Larroquette.
Mm-hmm. Did
From
some
Perry.
Boston Legal.
Are you laughing at Boston Legal? Or?
Yeah, Boston Legal. Happy Family. That was another one. God damn it. He's all over the place, Larroquette. All right, we got to stop talking about John Larroquette.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We can stop.
All right. So he does the narration. That's it. And the narration, it's pretty minor. It's just basically like, hey, Texas, weird shit goes down.
It's very somber. Took me off guard.
He explains the vandalism in the cemetery, right?
Well, there's the narration in the beginning with the scrolling. What am I trying to say? The scrolling.
Whatever. It's a scroll.
Right, scroll. Then we get a lot of radio announcements, and I think in the radio announcements, the news, we hear about the cemetery. I'm pretty sure that in the John Larroquette,
that might be right.
The Larroquette part is just talking about the events that are occurring and that occurred and that all that kind of shit. It's strictly about what we're about to watch.
Then 2 years later, The Town That Dreaded Sundown came out, which was another movie about a killer in Texas, and they just like had John Larroquette sounding narration throughout that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Jesus. Look at you, an expert on Texas horror movies.
That's right. Texas horror movies from the mid-'70s. That's my bread and butter. Shout out to Madison Apitz, listener from Texas.
Oh, yeah? That's where she's from? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that until this week either. She was like, I expect a shout out this week. I was like, oh, yeah?
A lot of people expect shout outs, Madison. Then it's like, oh, okay, I see why. Okay, sure.
We get a title card. It's August 18th, 1973. I love the opening shot of this movie of a defiled crypt as we hear the radio announcement in the background. It's sort of corpses stacked on top of one another. It's, I think, ahead of its time. It's sort of like an artsy crime scene, like a spooky tableau of the kind they later did a lot on like Hannibal and shit.
Yeah, it's like
Or True Dick.
Right. It's like an early rendition of the True Detective type thing where serial killers leave elaborate fucking voodoo type crime scenes,
but
with
like
bones
beautiful ones.
Yeah, it took a lot of time to do it. Yeah. And,
all right, that's all Henry has, and then
I don't have much on that. I didn't think much. I mean, I thought we'd get right to the car.
No, I'm not ready for the car. We get opening credit. I like the opening credits in this movie, Henry. They're over a harsh red color, and you sort of see like some black images. You're not so sure what they are. It looks like sort of the poster of Play Misty for Me.
Nice. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So maybe red was in vogue at the time.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. That credit sequence surprised me because I thought we were going to get sort of a really low budget credit sequence where we might not even get a credit sequence. I thought we were just going to go right into the movie. The fact that we got one at all surprised me.
Oh, we got one.
That's $3,000 right there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have to announce all these huge names in our cast.
Yeah, totally necessary. Well, they probably figured, Hooper probably figured, look, I know I'm not going to be able to give these fucking people anything. They got to split $8,100 20 ways.
At least they could take their family to see this movie and like point at their name. Oh, okay. You want to get to the car? We meet our illustrious cast. There's a dude driving. There's a hot girl with a back. Her whole back's out. You got you got
astrology.
She likes astrology, right? You've got the main girl who's like the final girl. What's
Sally?
Sally. What's the actress's name?
Sally Hardesty is Marilyn Burns.
Right. I think she's really good.
Yeah, I think she's good too. I think the shit she has to go through in this movie is pretty deserving.
But I'm always like on her side. Like up to the very end, I'm like nervous that she won't get away, even though like I've seen the movie a few times.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen the movie, so I honestly did not know what to expect. So for all I knew, this was going to be a fucking grim ending. So I mean, yeah.
She's got a brother in a wheelchair.
He's extremely annoying.
We've got a new set of wheels in our horror coverage.
Of course, that's what I thought of instantly as soon as he makes his first appearance, folks.
FYI, he makes his first appearance. All I'm thinking is, I hope he falls down something. And then seconds later, he falls down a hill. It's great.
He did.
They give us what we want.
Give the planks out for him. Imagine. Also, I was having practical thoughts right in the beginning. I was thinking they got this VW van, and they got to carry these like 10-foot 2x4s, two of them.
Oh, it's a big van.
But they got to carry like lumber for this guy.
You're acting like this guy's a fucking burden. He's their friend. They're just bringing some fucking planks of wood to help out their friend.
They kind of treat him like a burden most of the time.
I totally disagree, and I don't find him annoying either. I like this character.
He's just a terrible actor.
I don't think he's a bad actor.
The acting in some of these roles was really, really bad. I think Marilyn Burns is very good. I actually thought the two women were good, and the three guys were almost total dead weight.
There's a third guy. Oh, right. Yeah. The
driver, the deadbeat.
Yeah. Bareback has a boyfriend. He's the first one to get it, actually.
Oh yeah. And
he's the first one to get it.
He gets it all right.
Yeah.
I felt like right away that this was more about the visuals, but the pacing was really threw me off. It was very, very long exposition. I was not expecting that.
Well, it's one of these movies where it's like a slow first half hour, and then it's like pretty fucking relentless for the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
And it's short. It's only an hour and 23 or something.
123. I guess what surprised me was I was, for all I've heard, and we've talked about it before, I was taken aback by quite how low budget it was. Like, I guess I didn't quite expect it to be this. Like, I think a lot of time was taken clearly on the house and that all those sequences there. But all those sequences in the car and leading up, it was just a very odd pace to me.
I don't think it looks bad, though. Like, maybe you might call the pacing clunky or whatever, but I thought it looked about as good as a Halloween or something.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that. I don't think it looks like a Halloween. I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't.
I think that some of the shots are they're very, very strange. Like within the car, they're kind of like these lingering strange, like there's pauses and then you're waiting for the character to sort of say their line, and then there's like cuts back and forth. It's very awkward.
Felt naturalistic to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's supposed to. It didn't feel that quite that way to me, but.
All right. So the wheelchair kid, he pisses in a coffee can. A truck drives by. The wind generated by the truck driving by blows him down a hill.
Yeah.
So I'm like 5 stars. The only way to go from here is down.
Yeah. So from probably doing this, I would imagine, I have pulled over the side of the road many a time in my life on busy highways and taken a piss.
You ever been knocked down by a truck passing?
Only 6 or 7 times.
That has that actually happened?
No, it's ridiculous. That's why it's so awesome.
He's on wheels, bro.
Yeah. No, that's why it's awesome. But I mean, it was so funny because I kept thinking, like, did the truck clip the van or something? And it was like, no, just the wind.
Yeah. So next stop, it's cemetery time. We've got to see if their like uncle or whatever, his grave was defiled.
Right.
Because there was a lot of vandalism.
Yeah, that's like the goal of the trip.
Yeah, and when they get there, there's a drunk guy lying on the ground. I love. First of all, he's like the guy in the horror movie that's like, "You don't want to go down that road." Like it's that character.
Yeah.
Like the warning guy, the harbinger.
He's like in Friday the 13th.
Yeah, of course, the gas station employee.
Yeah. Right.
But in this movie, I love that he's delivering that dialogue from a reclining position because he's like drunk on the ground.
It's upside down. We're looking at his ugly face, like turned around upside down.
I love that shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so he warns them. They don't listen to the warning, and you're like, uh-oh. So then, what's the next thing to do if you want to stay safe on the road? Pick up a hitchhiker, of course.
Smart move.
Yeah. Smart. So they pick up this fellow with a big birthmark on his face, a real Harvey Weinstein.
I haven't heard that joke in a long time. That's an in one.
Hey, you hear about old Harv?
Oh yeah. Made it in there with his walker.
15 years, baby.
Got that walker problem.
No, I mean like he got sentenced.
Yes, no, I know.
Oh, okay.
I kept showing
you
the footage.
You just love the walker.
I love that. I was not aware that he had a condition.
Well, I think he was trying to look frail for the jury.
Know what he was doing. He was a producer. He's seen a lot of mafia movies when they get convicted and they go to court and all of a sudden they're on oxygen masks and shit.
He has seen a lot of mafia movies and then forced Martin Scorsese to cut an hour out of them. Okay.
I actually think that's funny you said that was a birthmark because even through to the end of the scene, I kept thinking it was just blood, like a blood stain.
No, I thought that was a big birthmark.
Oh, it could have been. I totally thought it was just a big blood stain on his face. I didn't know. All right.
So he's walking around. He's got a camera, and he takes a Polaroid of them, and he says, "I'll give you the picture for $2."
Yeah.
And they won't pay him. And I'm thinking, like, you've got this fucking creep in your van. I feel like has he already fucking cut his hand?
I think he's cut his own hand yet.
He pulled out a knife, cut his own hand, and then asks for $2 for this picture? Give him the $2.
Yeah. At that point, you'd figure placate him and then
be nice to him. I feel like the wheelchair kid's being condescending to him about his, like, meat practices because he says that he comes from a family of butchers or whatever.
Yeah. He's Franklin, I believe is his name. Yes, Franklin is very.
Who's Franklin?
Wheelchair.
Oh, so I don't keep calling him wheelchair kid. We can call him
go
Franklin.
ahead. You can call him wheelchair kid. Yeah. I just like that his name's Franklin. It's fucking random.
Franklin Delano Romanowski.
There you go. Well, he's in a wheelchair.
Good point.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe that's why they named him that.
Maybe Hooper's a big New Deal fan. Oh, well. Yeah, Franklin's like lecturing him. That whole sequence is so bizarre, and it is freaky. I mean, it's definitely unsettling. And you don't know what this guy is. At this point, I didn't know if this guy had a connection to Leatherface or who we're meeting, because for me, I don't, these kids are on a weird odyssey, so this is just another part of this weird odyssey.
Almost everybody they come across has a connection to Leatherface and shit.
Yeah. No, I mean,
with the exception of the drunk guy in the cemetery.
Yeah, I think the people in the cemetery, for the most part, seem to be separate.
Yeah. But then they get to this gas station, and the gas station is out of gas. And I'm thinking, like, that's a red flag to me. Like, there are so many opportunities to just, like, go somewhere.
Right. Well, this movie is like the fucking origin story of the characters just repeatedly doing dumb things.
Yeah, just forging ahead. Logic be damned.
It was fascinating to watch that, because I knew this was, like, one of the first ever, and you're literally watching it unfold. Like, oh my god, I'm watching them consciously make continuously bad decisions. Yeah,
right. So birthmark guy then cuts wheelchair Franklin with his knife, and they're like, I think it's time to get out of the car, buddy. So they leave him on the side of the road. He smears something on the side of the car, which may or may not be some sort of ritualistic symbol. I don't think anything really comes of that.
Oh, never explained. I imagine it's some design of a bone, maybe of a possum.
Oh, okay.
Maybe an animal bone,
And they get to this broken down house that's like their uncle's house. Yes. And it's pretty gross in there, but that's where they're going to stay. There's a creek nearby so they can swim.
Right.
And the house is fucking gross. Like, we like pan around this house at first, just like set shit up. There's that one close up of just like a swarm of daddy long legs.
Yeah, that was
fucking gross.
That was fucked up, man. Yeah. And that was only the start. I thought that if that might be the apex of hideous images, then I'd be okay. But we were just getting started. But yeah, that was freaky. That was real too. You could see. I feel like Toby Hooper. Hooper.
When I was a kid. Wait, what were you gonna say?
Hooper.
Oh, that's it.
Just Hooper.
Okay. When I was a kid, I was at the local pool once, and the kid, when you're at a pool as a kid, like, there might be a couple other kids at the pool, and your family's like, yeah, play with them. All right, so there was one of those kids, and he showed me that if you pull the legs off of a daddy long legs, the legs will, like, move around for a while.
That is absolutely revolting.
Yeah.
Did this kid end up in what jail did he end up?
I don't know. I don't know where this kid is these days.
That's fucked up, man. I mean, yeah. I hate insects, but I never hurt them. Even as a kid, I didn't hurt them. I just murdered them.
Yeah, no, insects, I'll step on a fucking bug, but
yeah, I'm not going to torture it.
No,
Jesus.
I know. He was like taking their legs off one by one, showing me these twitching, disconnected legs.
Fucking kids. Jesus, what a horrible memory, dude.
I know.
You got to get that brain checked. You just got to get some shit taken out of that thing.
Henry, I thought of another memory. That it's a good story from American Pie that I forgot to tell.
Oh God.
Okay, so when we were working at Barnes & Noble, there was this big fat guy named Tony. Okay. Remember Tony? He ended up with that girl, Carrie.
Oh, yes.
I'm using their real names.
He didn't work there when I started, but I knew all about him, and I met him.
So this is before your time, then.
Yeah, but I know him, and I met him, and I know the stories, but go ahead.
So I just remember that, I made an in-store playlist, and I put the song Laid by James on it, and Tony came into the department, and he'd, like, never spoken to me before, and he just goes, yo, is this a song from American Pie 3? And I always remembered that. And the other thing I want to say about that is, do you remember that he at the time he was like engaged to Carrie, and she was obsessed with you?
Okay, all right. This has to be edited out.
If you had thrown her a bone, and they're still married to this day, Henry, if you had thrown her a bone, that you would have destroyed their entire family.
And I probably would have been murdered. Yeah. I'm going to try
Please let me leave this in the show.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it. If you had only changed the names, you know.
Oh, they don't listen. This will never come back to them.
I remember all too well because one of our other friends, who I'm not going to name, wrote me a love letter in the book. Remember that?
As her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Real fucking funny. It was very good. Yeah, that was so weird. What a weird period, especially for me. Yeah. Experience, not a weird period. Weird experience. Yeah. My Lord. Well, that's not a childhood memory. That's
just a memory. Just a memory in general.
It's a stretch, but yeah, very fucked up. Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Oh, they're at this house.
Oh my God.
So two of them leave the property to go sort of explore. This is the astrology girl and her boyfriend.
Pam and Jerry, I want to say.
Pam and Jim.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jerry's the driver.
Oh, you know how you know to swipe left on a dating app?
Oh, tell me.
When the girl says that she's looking for a Jim to her Pam.
God, that's every one of them.
I know. Automatic swipe left.
Or a Gomez to her Morticia.
Have you gotten that one?
Yeah.
That's like, oh, she's a little bit kooky, right? Like she wants you to know she's got some quirk to her.
Absolutely. She's goth, man.
Here's when I swipe left. That if I see her on a wall, if she's climbing a wall.
Oh, that's a big one.
Swipe left. Yeah. If all the pictures of her in other countries, she's boring. Swipe left.
If every picture is an athletic activity.
Oh, big time swipe left.
Well, there's no way I'm gonna. What are we gonna do? I mean, I can go and watch her.
Yeah. What are we gonna do on dates? Play tennis?
I mean, I can give it a shot. I don't think I'm gonna last that long climbing on a wall or doing these crazy things. But yeah, you're right. Boy, that's a whole show in itself. Just what to swipe left on.
That's right. So many.
Oh, fluent in sarcasm gets a left.
Oh my God. Yeah, I see that a lot. Fluent in sarcasm. You know, my immediate reaction to that is maybe fluent, not good at it. See, now I'm fluent in sarcasm.
Maybe show me in your bio that you're fluent in sarcasm.
Oh, here's another thing.
Something funny.
Right. Here's another one. You know how some of them like to take like a personality test? So it's like it'll say in their profile like INFJ or something like that.
Yeah.
Swipe left.
Oh my God. I need a secret decoder ring to figure out all these acronyms these days.
I know. I recently had to Google SMH, and I was like, "Oh, shake my head, interesting."
Shake my head. So I know that one, but the ENFJ, INF.
Right, I don't know what that is.
Fucking ENFP.
You know them all.
See a lot of them.
Oh, Henry. So they're going to explore. They find the Leatherface house, basically.
Yeah.
It's a big wood house with a nice porch, and it's got a swing that fits two. And I was wondering if like Leatherface ever goes out there and swings.
I mean, he's essentially a big kid. If he could just calm down for a minute. And just kind of take in the scenery, put that chainsaw down.
Who's most likely using that?
The swing?
I mean, who built it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could have been built in 1840, given how old this.
You think like this didn't look old to me. This was like a shiny swing. It was like the most new-looking thing on the property.
Well, maybe if anyone would have built that, I have to say it was probably Leatherface, because of the three or four villains in this movie, he seems to be the most level-headed.
He does also seem like he could like cobble something together real fast.
He can build.
Yeah.
You think his fucking maniac brother or father is in the house building these elaborate fucking statues to grandma and the bones? They're not doing this. This is all Leatherface.
Everything's made of fucking bones in this house. Like, can't you just have a lamp?
No.
You need to make a lamp out of bones. I feel like there's such elaborate electricity setups in both of the Leatherface properties in these two movies.
Well, in the second one, I mean,
I don't even know how that fucking place runs.
No, that's like a bat cave. I mean, he's got engineers. They've got engineers from all over the world making that thing happen. This one just took some tender, loving care. That's all. That's all. This TCM took TLC. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Give me that red light special, baby. All through the night.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, Leatherface. I'll just let you down.
Yeah. It's great stuff, Henry. Henry, how many TLC songs can you name? Go.
We had this conversation.
Have we really?
I think so. Yeah. Waterfalls.
Okay.
Scrubs.
No Scrubs.
No Scrubs. God, I used to see their videos all the time. I was really into T-Boz. She was mine.
Yeah, she was mine. She was good. She had the raspy voice.
Oh yeah, and that blonde wig hair.
Yeah, that was good too.
They're all dead, right?
No, just one of them's dead.
T-Boz is sick though. She has a very bad.
What?
Condition. Yeah. She has a bad condition. I think she's got like blood cell leukemia.
Jesus.
Yeah, T-Boz is dead, right?
No, left eye.
Left eye's sorry. T-Boz.
I'm looking her up.
One of them's fine. One of them's totally fine.
Chili, probably.
Chili is fine. I believe Chili is fine. She is not.
She's had sickle cell since she was a child.
See, I knew that.
She had a brain tumor for a while.
Very bad.
She filed for bankruptcy. She seems to be doing fine now. She adopted a kid 3 years ago.
Oh, that's good. Good. That's T-Boz.
There's your T-Boz update, gang.
TLC came from a TCM, so they were related jokes.
What's TCM?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, Turner Classic Movies, I thought.
Right. No.
All right.
One of our listeners said that on our Patreon. Actually, it was Evil Chris. I guess we referenced the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and on our Patreon comment board, he said, thanks for the TCM shout-out.
Oh. I think I read that Turner Classic Movies, and I didn't remember when we shouted that out, or why Evil Chris would have been excited about it.
Well, he's the one who gave us this franchise. So
I know, but I don't know why he would have been excited about Turner Classic Movies.
Oh, right.
Is he like really into the African Queen?
We were. No, I'm saying he was.
I know what you're saying. I'm making a goddamn joke. You dumb piece of shit.
We're not into the second movie yet with the dialogue like that.
Yeah, the second movie is very Rob Zombie. You know,
Zombie.
House of 1,000 Corpses is like a carbon copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Great, I'll take it over it any day.
Not me. Fuck you. Oh, God, I'm going to be so annoyed soon.
Yeah, am I?
Jesus. All right, Leatherface. Wait, so they're looking for help from this house. It's one of the things. They knock on the door opens, they go in. Who does that shit?
It's a good first kill. Like, I think his name's, let's just call him Jim. Jim walks in, because it's Pam and Jim, makes it easier. He walks in, and he gets just to the foyer.
He opens one door. He goes down a hall and opens a door, and there's just fucking this big hulking brute wearing like a skin mask and holding a mallet, and he's like, oh fuck, and he starts to turn around, but Leatherface just whacks him on the head, and that's all it takes.
It's a big first kill because it's like his first appearance.
Kirk. I wrote it down. Kirk.
Yeah, Captain Kirk. Yeah. So Jerry's driving the car, I think. Yeah. All right, makes sense.
You might be right.
So Kirk is dispatched in like, really it's the first appearance of Leatherface, and it's on a kill. Like, there's no
he's killing right away.
No introduction. There's no kind of seeing him in the shadows. There's nothing. It's very unlike Michael Myers.
It's not that kind
Jason.
of thing, because Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy, they all have like agendas. Like I feel like Leatherface is just like in service of his weird family, and he's just this like weird childlike asshole. I mean, asshole in that he kills people.
Right. I like when people misuse the word asshole. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I think it's great.
And so Pam is like, she like waits 30 seconds. She's hanging out by the swing. And then she's like, Kirk, what happened there? And everything okay? I'm going to wander into this house too.
She goes too. And she is bear hugged.
Oh.
Hung on a meat hook.
On her back is pretty gross.
It's pretty gross, but this is where in the movie I was still, as a viewer, besides the guy cutting himself and all that shit in the van that I wasn't a particularly big fan of, we had still yet to see much gore, and I was very surprised. So even when he hung her on the meat hook, you kind of don't see.
Yeah, you don't see like penetration.
And I was like kind of happy. I was like, that's interesting. Okay. Weird. Not what I was expecting.
Right.
And then he like clearly does away and vivisects her boyfriend, and you don't really see that either.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of curious to me. And then I understood later that we were saving all that for a finale. But yes, so those two are gone pretty quick.
And then the driver, like right afterwards, because they're like, "Hey, whatever happened to fucking Kirk and Pam?" And and the driver's like, "Fucking, I'll find them, bro." He's like a hippie. He's sort of like
he's high.
The Halloween analog for him is that dude with the glasses who fucks PJ Souls.
They even look alike.
Yeah.
The like not too good looking a guy who's just somehow is just like totally cool with himself.
Yeah.
And he's got like clearly like he's just having a good time. He's like the least rattled of anyone. He's the least rattled.
He's like Jughead, dude, because like, like they're there with like a bunch of girls and he doesn't seem interested in fucking. He's just sort of like, I'm along for the ride. I'm having a real nice time. I'd like a hamburger at some point. Check out my cool hat.
He only gets agitated when he can't get gas.
That's what the worst part of Riverdale. I hate that they made like Jughead have like a libido.
Oh, really?
Like, Jughead's fucking Betty on that show? No way. He should be sticking his dick in a hamburger. He shouldn't even be touching his dick. Jughead should be a fucking eunuch with grease on his hands.
I never had a knowledge nor interest at any point in my life of the Archie comics.
I read Archie comics on a weekly basis for years.
Yeah, it's interesting. I knew they existed. I didn't have an interest. Yeah.
It's a teen thing.
I just didn't.
It's a teen love triangle. It's the girl next door and the rich hot one. Like, it appeals to me.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I didn't know you were growing up in the 60s. That's pretty cool.
They updated them. There's like a gay Archie character now, and they made Josie black on Riverdale.
Oh, all right. That's good.
Yeah. Great. All right. What happens? So the driver, he gets killed. How does he die? Mallet?
His death. All right. So he goes into the fucking house. I remember he uncovers. He sees Pam in the freezer. She's in the ice box.
That's right.
He opens it. She's still alive.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying. And then he doesn't last long. I don't remember. He probably gets a hammer to the head. That seems to be the weapon of choice.
That's the go-to. Interestingly, for a movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I would say more than half of these people die by mallet to the head.
Yeah, definitely like a mallet of some sort. Maybe a sledgehammer.
What if this was called The Texas Mallet Massacre?
It'd be much more alliterative. Yeah.
With the Texas Sledgehammer Massacre, with sledgehammer has two words.
The Texas Sledge Hammer Massacre.
Yeah. So Wheels is next to go. What happens with him?
So Wheels is real insistent that they don't go, him and his sister Sally, that they don't leave the van. They stay there. He wants to go in the van and get some help. She says, I want to go into the woods and find him. And then they have a real tough argument and physical altercation over the flashlight. Now, I'm not sure quite why Sally couldn't wrestle that flashlight from Franklin.
Maybe she's trying to be a little delicate with him, man.
It looked like it. But he wins. The keys are gone, so they're stuck. And then Franklin's whining away about don't go. All right, I'll go with you. But then I'm on her side in this argument because she's just like, look,
I'm not.
Well, listen, he's right to want to drive away. But if she's going to go ahead and do her dumb idea, which is to go into the dark woods, she just wants to do it, And he's like, wait, I can't go. She's like Fred Armisen in the last Curb episode.
Listen, your friends have disappeared. I'm sorry to tell you. It's you and a dude in a wheelchair, and you want to venture into the woods? That means you're separated.
What are you going to do, stay there with Franklin?
Yes! Wait till it's light out, and then leave.
Fair point. But in their argument, as in most horror movies, where
and I would sleep in the car. I'm not contending with these daddy long legs.
That's a good point. But in their world, like in most horror movies, as you well know, there's only two options. There's not several. It's either go in the woods
or go up the stairs.
Yeah, that's it. There's not a lot of options. So in this universe, it's go in the woods or wait by the car. And so she goes in the woods. Franklin tries to follow and has an extremely ignominious death where Leatherface just shows up out of fucking nowhere and I essentially saws him in half, but we don't really get to see that either. I'm going to assume a lot of that had to do with a budgetary constraint.
I don't remember what happened to him because I wrote down my note is fuck dude, which means I must have been horrified by something.
Well, they're in a patch of woods. They're together at that point, and then out of nowhere, like they turn around and Leatherface shows up with the chainsaw and just like takes it perpendicular to Franklin's head, and like Franklin is finished, and he's just like screaming, and then thus begins Sally's big run and the chase, and so Franklin's it. But you don't really get a clear shot of him. You just
but that he does it with a chainsaw. That's the difference. He finally has his chainsaw.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
He bisects him or whatever.
Yeah. So now he's chasing after fucking Sally, and she can't get away. And there's some stairs, and she runs up the stairs. But Henry. Now, this is where Sally's smart, because she does exactly what I would do in this situation without missing a beat, without trying to, like, hide in the bathroom or some bullshit.
Yes.
She just full speed runs towards a fucking closed window and jumps through it. Second floor. She's just like, I'm out of this fucking house.
I completely agree. When she did that, I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Nice. That's the move.
It's awesome.
That's the move. I mean, what would you do in that situation? I don't think you'd care if you were on the 6th floor. You would just would fucking
listen. They do it in Scream, but there's a boat in the driveway with a tarp, and so they were able to land on that. In this, it's just grass.
Sally's got nothing, and she emerges from that fall pretty unscathed.
And she has trouble running for a while, but then she figured, it's a boon to her that she doesn't really have to run full speed again until the end, because the woods are like so fucking tied up in brush and shit that she's just sort of like avoiding him.
Right.
Because she's small. She's a little lady. So she's small enough to sort of like cut through the woods, and he's like this big dude. And so he's got to like use a machete to like, cut his way through.
He's like hacking his way through the jungles.
Yeah, like he's in the African Queen or something.
Yeah. Let's bring that up again. I want one more African Queen.
I'll do my best.
During the Texas Chainsaw episode. Is looking at you, kid.
That is not in that movie.
It's a bogey reference.
Oh, boy. All right. So what next? He's chasing after her. what happens?
Well, she
They finally capture her, right?
no. I mean, she makes it out to the gas station.
Oh, of course.
And she gets there, and I gotta say, it speaks to the direction that, despite this being Texas, and despite this being full of very scary people, very scary backward redneck white people, I still thought she was going to be like the man she found was like, oh, all right, he'll be all right.
Try to help her.
He'll help her out. He'll do what he can.
And then he'll get killed or something.
Exactly. I fully expected him to get, and then I just kind of, when he was gone for a while, I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know, man. But I was in suspense. I didn't know. And so then when he comes back, then I think there's like a shot of her staring at a barbecue or something like that, right? Didn't she sort of clued in for a second?
Well, she's looking around the gas station, and there's some like raw meat or something. She's not. Yeah. She's getting a little creeped out, and he leaves for a while and leaves the door open.
Yeah. So essentially, he
Rob Zombie stole this scene too at the beginning of his Halloween 2. Do you remember there's like a parking lot attendant who tries to help her?
No, I tried to block that in my mind. I don't remember.
It was one of the only parts of the movie I liked. Right. And then watching this, I'm like, oh, I liked it because it's ripped off from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, well, he gets her. He binds and gags her, puts a potato sack over her head, and then just like beats her with a broomstick.
I love this guy in this movie. He's like an elderly. He's not elderly. He must be like in his late 40s or something. And he's like part of this weird backwoods hick clan. And I love that he doesn't do any of the killing. He's like, I don't like killing. It doesn't feel good.
I mean, this whole section of the movie to me is problematic. It teeters on the verge of just being sort of
torture porny.
Yeah. And I didn't particularly expect that, even though the title of the movie is pretty self-explanatory. Like when he's beating her in the car with the broom, and
I love that. I think that's funny. I think this movie's funnier than it gets credit. And, Tobe Hooper said that, like, the reason Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is such a supposed comedy is that he felt like people didn't get the comedy in the first one, so he made it much more overt in the second one. And which, may or may not have been a good decision. But I do think that is what he's talking about. Like, this fucking weird pervert, like, blasting her with a broom is funny.
Right. Well, right. Well, I mean, when you talk about it and when you think about it in hindsight, but, like, if you're watching it for the first time with the thinking that it's just a pure straight up horror movie, there's not a lot of humor to be found.
I always found that, because you know what, when I first saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was so aware of its reputation, and I was worried about watching it. It seemed like it was going to be like fucking Cannibal Holocaust or something, and it's really not. I remember watching it for the first time and thinking it was kind of funny. Once they're in the house and they bust out the grandfather that's 120 years old and they prick her finger and the grandfather sucks the blood out of her finger.
So disgusting.
It's funny.
Though. It's so disgusting, though. I mean, I just mean, not morally. It's just gross. It's so fucking gross.
Yeah.
And I think that sequence suffers from one major problem. It goes on forever.
But you need to get to know. It's the first time we're seeing all of the characters together in a room and starting to understand the implications of it.
You're right.
Which is that they are a family. They do this for a living. They're butchers. Yeah. They run this gas station legitimately.
Right. But it's what brought out the length of it to me is that the entire sequence is so relentlessly cacophonous.
There's a lot of screaming in these movies.
It's so loud and it never lets up. And she is just put through this gauntlet that, I mean, I was like feeling for the actress, and I mean, I know, and it's
I know.
just
No,
so,
you're right. It must have been a week filming this scene.
yeah,
Just
and
having
it's
to like scream and cry over and over again.
yeah, and I think like it's just everything you said is right. Like that's where it all comes together and you get what the hell's going on to an extent. It's just so drawn out, and I think a big part of that is it's just unartful.
Yeah,
And
but it's like a tradition in horror movies. In many ways, this is like the scene in Psycho where like the doctor like describes Norman Bates's condition for 10 minutes, and that's not artful either.
no, well, that's the big part of Psycho everybody argues about.
Right.
But I mean, this is just it's hard to watch because it's just I mean, physically it's hard to watch. It's just the endless screaming and screeching, and it's just very, very, it's very draining. It's very draining. I mean, it's intense. It's absolutely intense. And I did not know one way or the other if she was going to make it or not. I absolutely did not. But I mean, it's just so relentless that it almost just becomes monotonous. And you're like, my God, when is this going to end?
Soon.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you did touch on it, and I guess I didn't expect it to be so arduous and so torturous, like a little bit like torture porn. It's really in a very, very different realm than Halloween and even Friday the 13th.
No, you're right. It's closer to something like Last House on the Left, which is a movie that I love that you don't have a lot of tolerance for.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I guess I was a little surprised at that. I thought it would be slightly more.
I think it's more artful than that movie. I mean, look, I want to get to the ending because I really feel like it's one of my favorite endings in any movie, and I think it elevates the entire piece.
I think the very ending
Yes.
is the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so she manages to escape, Henry, because they give the grandfather the mallet to beat her, and he's like, oh, he's just like, fuck, he can't raise the thing because he's so old.
Yeah, you finally do realize he is actually alive. There's a while where I was just thinking,
because at first one of them goes into a room in the mansion, and it's like an old man and an old woman sitting next to each other, and they look like corpses. And then it turns out that the old woman was a corpse, but the old man was alive.
Yeah. So you're right. So she gets out. Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, by jumping through another closed window, amazing.
Another closed window. Yep.
Yeah. And she runs through the woods. Oh my God, Leatherface is chasing her with the chainsaw, and Weinstein Face is also like sort of like stumbling behind him.
Right. That's right.
They're both chasing her. And she's running through the woods, and the sun is starting to come out. It's like fucking dawn.
Yeah.
And eventually she makes it to the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she makes it to a highway. She tries to flag down a couple of cars. They won't. But then there's this big semi-truck. And it's speeding down like they're on the fucking road in Pet Sematary, and he sees what's happening. And first, he fucking runs over the dude with the birthmark.
Yeah,
and it is great. And he turns into a dummy and just like gets crushed under 18 wheels, and it fucking rolls.
Yeah, he's toast, and it's good to see him get fucking destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then the truck stops, and the truck driver tries to help her into the truck, and does, and then they go through the truck and come out the other side because it's like, this ain't happening. Like, Leatherface is going to get them. I love this truck driver, by the way. I love him. He's this like squat, fat, maybe Latino guy with like a little bit of a fro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's clearly an extra they found.
But he has no lines, and I think he adds so much. He's like really likable.
Well, because he looks very scared.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck did I just come into?
Yeah.
So is he the one that throws a rock at Leatherface's head?
Yeah, I think he throws like a lead pipe or something. I think he's yeah, whatever it
And
is. Yeah.
Leatherface ends up cutting his own leg accidentally with the chainsaw. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they're like trying to get away. Does the truck driver end up dying?
Okay, so they don't tell you. I don't think so. I think he just takes a different route because Sally jumps onto a passing
Yeah,
truck.
there's a truck. It's like what do they call those? Those the Southern people trucks.
A pickup truck.
Pickup truck. Right, right. That's what they drive in the flyover states.
God, I wish I fucking have them all over this state.
New Jersey. I got news for you, Henry. New Jersey is a flyover state.
I, as you know, the bottom half of New Jersey is a fly. Yes.
Okay.
It's like two different countries, man.
So she, after some trouble, manages to get into this pickup, and they start driving away, and she is just screaming, and you get the sense like maybe she'll never stop screaming.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean that's her.
She's just covered in blood, traumatized. Her life is over.
That's her job. That actress's job. Marilyn Burns that is phenomenal. I mean, that is all you take from that. There's she got away, but it's over. I mean, there's no way. And the other reason I think the truck driver gets away is because of the last shot in the movie.
Yeah, well, we stay behind with Leatherface, and the sun is coming up, and he's just like flailing in the wind with his chainsaw, and it's kind of a famous shot in the movie. But I just think it's so weirdly beautiful and graceful and elegant, like he's like a fucking figure skater or something with this chainsaw.
Well, it's got this.
It has like a balletic quality to it.
Yeah, it does, and it has this kind of iconographic nature to it, where the it is fucking in the film world. I mean, Hooper I'm sure he tried to time it, but he got real lucky with magic time happening right at that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun is coming up. He nails the shots, and I mean, it's a really good way to end the movie.
It's as great a final shot as there is in a movie, I think.
It's powerful. It's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. What do you give it?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie. This movie was. I was largely disappointed by this movie. I think my expectations were understandably high, but still, having said that, there's enough originality going on here and interest and excellent scenes. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I knew you'd go 3. It's funny, like anytime you go through a difficult journey with a movie, you almost have to give it a 3 because there's enough that intrigued you, but enough that held you back from fully enjoying it.
Do you mean me personally, or like
I think anybody?
World? Yeah.
You know, like I gave Jojo Rabbit a 3 for kind of the same reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's a difficult movie to watch, and I mean that's okay. That there's nothing wrong with that. But I just like this wasn't like sort of when I watched some of the other horror movies that we've seen, and I absolutely know that will not be the last time I watch it. I don't know that I'll ever watch this movie again. Like,
I absolutely will.
Right. Well, you're a fan of the movie. I mean, I actually went into this thinking this is going to be part of my repertoire from now on, and I just don't think it's going to be.
I wonder if it stays with you.
It did until 2 replaced some of that, but no, no. But talking about it with you, I mean, definitely elucidates some of the imagery, that was better than some of the stuff in it I didn't care for. And so, yeah, it'll stay with me for sure. It is not a forgettable movie. I'll say that. No. And my MVP is Sally.
Sure. Understandable.
My LVP is Wheels.
Sure.
I needed him to take that chicken leg out of his mouth for a lot of his dialogue, which I'm sure you loved.
Oh, please.
Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. Yeah. Who's your MVP?
Well, I haven't given my grade.
Okay. Well, I figure I know what it is. But
What do you think it is?
I think we always have this little disagreement. You owe it to this movie to give it a 5,
And that's what it's getting.
all right.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, of course.
This is a 5. My MVP, of course, is the truck driver from the end, and my LVP.
Well, get out of here.
Yeah. My LVP's Kirk.
He's the least.
He's just cannon fodder, man.
He is.
It's like they gave every character the barest of a personality, like the basest personality, and they didn't even bother to do that with this guy.
Poor guy got nothing.
Yeah,
he's literally relegated to like grunts and nods. He does. I don't even the lines he says aren't even mic'd properly. You can't even.
Yeah. All right. What a great film. Do you have a superhero count?
0.
Oh, well, yeah, none of these actors really went on to do major shit.
I was surprised. In the next movie, I have
some of them got some
but
work, but not a lot.
I would think that this feels like one of those movies where some people just kind of lived off of this movie for a very long time.
Oh yeah, they're going to these
Not
horror
necessarily.
conventions a lot.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's how
Yeah, I assume like they're in the booth right next to that dude from Troll 2.
Absolutely. I'm tying my belt tighter to avoid hunger pangs.
and it's like, I was in a wheelchair, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And the guy next to him like, I was in a wheelchair in Friday the 13th.
He draws like a little wheelchair next to his signature, so like they know it's him.
I have to say that actor was pretty convincing in one way. I really bought that he didn't walk.
Absolutely. In a way that the dude in Friday the 13th Part 2 is never that convincing.
No, he could walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. All right, 12 years later, it comes to us. Tobe is back to direct, Henry. He did not want to, but he's back.
He didn't want to.
He just wanted to produce this bad boy.
Okay.
But see, what happened was the rights were all weird with this franchise. And New Line bought the Texas Chainsaw rights in 1983. And to their credit, paid off some of the people that got the short shrift.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. New Line. Okay.
Yeah. But by the time 86 happens, Canon has the rights.
Oh, boy.
And, they're not giving money to anybody.
Not even themselves.
So their deal was they would only make the movie if Tobe Hooper direct. Well, I think they wanted a name director that they could use to sell the movie, and sure. No director would come on for the amount that they were willing to pay.
Wonder how low.
Probably nothing.
You think $1 million?
Less.
Wow.
And so the Tobe Hooper is now the guy again. He comes back to direct. And he also, does he co-write this one? No, I don't think he even does. L.M. Kit Carson is the writer of this film.
Right.
I don't know a ton about him. I mean, he's got credits, though. He co-wrote Paris, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he also wrote the Richard Gere remake of the great Godard film Breathless.
What was the Richard Gere remake?
You never saw that shit? There is a Richard Gere remake of Breathless that ends with a fucking shootout. That's ridiculous.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I can't believe you've never seen that.
I never heard of it.
You'd like that's it, Henry. Dan saw a Henry movie and it's called Breathless and Richard Gere's in it.
Oh, I'm sure I'd be a big fan. Yeah. I wasn't a fan of the original Breathless.
Nope, this would be the one you're into. The other one was too subtle for you.
Oh, it's real subtle. Fucking one thing that movie is not as subtle.
All right. So this comes to us August 22nd, 1986.
I'm 8.
Oh, I am less than a month old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hanging out, looking up.
I'm already going to movies.
Sometimes my parents are giving me tummy time.
There you
Budget of $4.7 million, and it made $8 million. So they came out even on this baby, but it's a wash.
Yeah.
It was number 83 at the box office between two films I am not familiar with, and I want to look them up. Let's see if you're familiar with them. This is
right.
Henry. Let's see if you know these obscure 80s movies. Haunted Honeymoon.
Yes, that's a comedy.
Wait, have we come across this?
No. It's just testing my 80s knowledge. Haunted Honeymoon. First of all, tell me if I'm right. Is it a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Okay, and there's somebody big in that.
Couple of them.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about big in terms of girth, Dom DeLuise is in the film, but he's not the biggest star.
No. Haunted Honeymoon.
It's actually written and directed by its star, Henry.
Oh man. All right, this is a stab in the dark. I'm just gonna say two names, and they could be totally wrong. I'm gonna say Goldie Hawn has something to do with this.
No.
I'm gonna say Burt Reynolds has something.
No,
to do
it's
with
Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. Henry.
There you go.
Haunted Honeymoon, and they were married at this point. And it came right before The Best of Times. These are the movies right around it.
That I know.
What's that one?
That's Robin Williams.
Yeah, you're right. Playing football.
Yeah, I never saw
weird.
it. It's supposed to be really bad. I never saw it, but I remember that. Yeah.
Ron Shelton, the screenplay, Henry.
Oh, I guess I better check it out.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell's in there. All right.
Right. Yeah. All right.
All right, so this was a major release, but it didn't do that great. But I'll tell you what, we get some opening narration, Henry. So I'm watching this movie yesterday, and I'm like, it's all new to me. Didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
I've always liked the one sheet of that's like a parody of The Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But that's like really all I knew about the movie. So it opens on similar narration from the first one, but it's like a little more over the top, and I feel like it's letting you know right away that like this movie is different.
Yeah. It's actually quite long, that scroll. Yeah, much longer. So
Well, they're reminding you of stuff that happened in the first one. They're like 12 years ago,
Right.
a bunch of people died, and they thought this girl was insane, but then other killings happened around there, and they kept going for years.
I know, and they never let you know like how she's doing at any point.
They do. It sounds like she's not doing great.
Well,
Because it sounds like she got out of that situation and said there's a crazy family of cannibal chainsaw people.
well, right, and then nobody believes.
And nobody believes her. But she's covered in blood.
Well, it's Texas.
I guess they like looked around and couldn't find this family. God
Well,
damn.
that didn't make much sense. I mean, unless they just upped and left that second.
They had to burn the house down, right?
Yeah,
Because they said they
yeah.
couldn't find the house.
They couldn't find the house. I know.
And that was such an elaborate house with all these bone fixtures. And
That would have hurt to
all
burn
the
that
skeleton lamps and
All
that. They're like rocking chairs made of tibias and shit.
down. Yeah, lot of work went into that.
Yeah, all the
construction.
utensils are they're made out of femurs.
Yeah, you got to think Leatherface is not.
These are the bones
happy.
I know.
The lovely bones.
I'm all out.
Yeah, the bone collector.
Ooh, that's a TV show now.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Henry, so we meet our lead character in the movie, Stretch.
That's a nice sweater, by the way. I like that sweater.
The one I'm wearing?
It's very nice.
Well,
I would wear that.
I thought you'd well, I appreciate that, Henry. You can have it if you want, honestly. I don't give a fuck. So, Stretch.
Audience, I just want the audience to know Dan's wearing a very nice sweater right now. It's a kind of a Henry sweater.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought you were about to comment on Stretch's shirt because that seemed like something that you would have been attracted to.
Which shirt?
In this opening scene, she is wearing a fully bedazzled ZZ Top t-shirt.
Never once saw that.
Yeah.
Never once saw that it said ZZ Top on
I'm
it.
thinking bedazzled ZZ Top t-shirt. She loves a double Z.
Or the movie with Brendan Fraser.
She probably also likes jizz. That's the only other double Z I could think of.
Yeah. You say that, I say jazz.
Jazz, sure, of course.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what Brendan Fraser movie were you about to reference?
Bedazzled.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, it's based on a Peter Sellers movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Elizabeth Hurley.
Henry going with the Brendan Fraser reference as opposed to the Peter Sellers.
Well, we're on the Richard Gere breathless kick.
That's true, man.
So she's wearing a ZZ Top shirt. Man, I missed that. Okay.
Well, ZZ Top was big around this point, and she might relate to their music. She has nice legs.
And she does have nice legs.
She knows, and I'll tell you what, Henry, she knows how to use them.
And they are from Texas, too, so that's probably what's going on there.
Makes sense. Now, first we're going to check in. She hosts a radio call-in rock and roll show, baby. And she's playing good music. It's a lot of, like, new wave, post-punk stuff.
I couldn't tell if a lot of the music was...
Oh, yeah. I heard some Timbuk 3.
Oh, you're
familiar
good.
with Timbuk 3?
You're good. No, I'm not. And you're good because I thought that some of the music just sounded like some of it might have been written for the movie, but you actually skipped ahead.
The Cramps, Oinga Boinga. I'm looking at the list now. Some Concrete Blonde.
Really?
Good bands.
Oingo Boingo, you mean?
Yeah. Oinga Boinga.
It's Oingo Boingo. But
no,
okay.
I think it's actually supposed to be pronounced Oinga Boinga, and
right?
Yeah, but the popular pronunciation is Boingo.
Danny Elfman's group.
That's correct, and I believe Mark Mothersbaugh. Am I wrong about that?
He's that too?
I might be wrong about that.
I don't know. But we didn't get to... We get to the radio station pretty quick, but first we get these two great characters.
But they're calling into the radio station.
Before they even do that, we're with them for like 5 minutes.
Are we?
Of just shooting signs and screaming bloody murder and wearing glasses with eyeballs on them.
It's like... Oh, I love those glasses. It's like the... Yeah, that's cool. It's like the... in Dazed and Confused, they're like driving around, like knocking down mailboxes and shit. It reminded me of that.
Yeah, except these guys are people that I wanted to die.
Well,
right
they're
away.
awful. They're excited about like the local football rivalry, and they're shooting at signs and they're driving around going crazy and they're calling the radio station and staying on the line for too long and pissing off Stretch.
Which really made me laugh too, because I was like, as soon as she says, hang up, you're holding up the lines. I'm like, can't you just hit another line and hang up on them? It's a one-line radio.
It is amazing because she has like a producer in the booth with her named LG. And
right.
And he can't figure it out either. And I'm like, how have you never run into this problem?
They've never run into this problem.
They have never had someone not hang up the phone before, because I worked at Barnes & Noble, and that would happen 17 times a day.
We used to hang up on people on purpose.
I worked at a fucking call-in line once, like a call center.
Sure.
And fucking, it was like nobody. You'd constantly, because one of the things, if you work in a call center, they don't let you hang up on the person.
Right.
So you constantly had to be like, hang up. Can you hang up? Can you release the line? Release the line, please.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Awful.
God.
So they're driving around doing that, and finally a car. They antagonized the wrong vehicle, Henry. And
I didn't think that this was going to be what we thought it was. I thought it was a prank at first.
The car?
Yep. I thought that we get to see whoever it is, this fucking crazy ass brother or Leatherface himself, I guess. And I'm thinking, since we've seen in the scroll and we've had 12 years, I'm thinking this might be some people that are just trying to scare these kids to like play up the local legend type of thing. You know what I mean? I kind of thought
this is our family. Oh,
that's it. They're right there right away.
The Chainsaw Gang. It's Yeah, the first dude that pops out is the new character, right?
I got confused.
Because you thought it was the birthmark guy. I did too.
Well, yeah, because it's a brother, and so
I thought it
there's
was that
another
guy
brother.
for the entire movie until I read the plot description. I was like, oh, it's a different character. Even the actor looks like that dude.
He looks exactly like him.
Apparently what happened is this is a guy who made a short film in the late 70s that was like a parody of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Henry. Very funny.
Okay.
And he wrote and directed it and plays the birthmark guy in that parody. Tobe Hooper saw it, loved it so much that he added him to the family.
Okay. All right. I was sorry he did that because he is the most insufferable person in this movie.
I loved him. His name is Chop Top. He's a Vietnam vet, and he's kind of a hippie, and he's got a little spot of his scalp missing where there's a metal plate.
Vomitous.
I loved it.
Vomitous.
But he looks like a fucking ghoul. I'm watching this movie. He pops out of the car, and I'm like, what are we battling fucking demons in this one?
Well, he's always carrying around a dead. Well, he's carrying around a corpse.
It's apparently the implication, Henry, is that corpse is the birthmark guy from the last movie, the hitchhiker.
Oh,
and I read this.
Okay.
And he apparently is that dude's twin brother, who I guess was maybe away in Vietnam during the events of the first one.
Okay. Nicely done, Hooper.
Yeah.
Nicely
Tobe had it all figured out, dude.
Nicely done. Nice and done. By the way, I'd like to point out something really quick. Did you realize that the man LG who has issues with the phone lines, his name is LG? And LG phones?
Oh, yeah.
He should probably know what's going on.
Well, I mean, I don't think LG phones were a thing in 1986.
Well, you never know. You should know what's happening.
I guess. I wanted to like LG more. I could tell he was supposed to be like the likable friend to Stretch or whatever, but it was that weird 70s, 80s, basically any time before last year where the dude is hitting on the girl too much.
Yeah.
He kept trying to get Stretch to fuck him, and Stretch would be like, "Oh, LG, I'm not gonna fuck you. We're friends," and
right.
That would be fine. But then there was one scene where after that he went into another room and he's like, "Fuck, god damn it!" And I'm like, "That's a little aggressive, LG."
That took me aback because when he hits on her, I kind of thought it was extremely innocent, and then when he gets to the back and he screams like that, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
All right, man. I thought you were just kind of half-assing that.
Yeah, you're allowed to fucking flirt with your coworker, fine, but don't get super fucking furious when she won't suck your dick. Oh, Henry. So they kill these kids that are driving the car.
Yeah,
and they catch it on tape at the radio station.
Yeah, because they were calling in, not hanging up, so the whole murder is on a tape.
Okay, so then we meet Dennis Hopper.
Yes, we do.
And he, it seems like, is the uncle of the kids from the first one.
Yeah, he's the uncle of somebody.
I think it's Sally and Wheels.
Yeah, you're right. It says right here. Yeah. And plus, when he sees Franklin later, he says something like that.
That's right. He sees a corpse in a wheelchair, and he seems taken aback by it.
Right. Yeah.
So Hopper, who I can't say he's sleepwalking through this movie because he's clearly on a ton of coke, but he's certainly not engaged in the material, I would say.
Dude, there is one sequence, the sequence when Stretch comes to his hotel room, Hopper is fucking wasted. He looks so bad in that sequence. Did you notice that he's ashen.
Well, he plays the scene really weird too, because like he's been searching for 12 years for the people who murdered his family, and this lady comes to him and is like, "Hey, I have an actual recording of the people who murdered your family murdering other people.
Your torturous journey is over."
I mean, he's been searching for 12 years with no clues. And like this falls into his lap, and he's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "You don't even want to listen to it?" And he's like, "I guess play it on the air."
He's the most it's the most lethargic scene Dennis Hopper has ever acted in. I have never seen him that lethargic. He was gone during that sequence. You check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That fucking sequence, he looks awful.
Yeah.
And then he's right back to normal. He got back on his coke, and he's perfectly level again.
It's not really a character. I mean, you know, I'm glad he wasn't the lead, because I thought they were setting him up as the lead, and Stretch is a much more engaging lead, because this performance is all over the fucking place. As much as I love goddamn Dennis Hopper, and he made this the same year as Blue Velvet, which is his crowning fucking achievement as far as I'm concerned. I just felt like, I don't know, maybe he did this movie for the money, and he's just like going through it.
I would think that he did just do it for the money. I mean, he's having a pretty good stretch, no pun intended. He's got, you know, 7 years earlier he's got Apocalypse Now. In the 80s he's got Hoosiers, he's got fucking Blue Velvet. I mean, he doesn't need this. I mean, I don't know what. Maybe he liked Tobe Hooper. Maybe they partied together or some shit. Who knows? Anything's possible.
Probably thought it could be a wild set, man.
Yeah. Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah. So we cut to a chili cook-off, and it looks like the family has now started entering chili cook-offs, and they're winning all of them because people love the taste of human meat. Now, of course, I could relate to this.
Go ahead. I was going to make a joke, and then I know exactly what you're going to say. So I want to build the suspense. I was going to ask you if you're going to be hosting the youth chili cook-off this year. Remember that shit?
Yeah, what is that from?
That's from the special features on Live at the Purple Onion.
That's right.
That is fucking genius.
Yeah, as Seth.
Seth Galifianakis. I'll host the youth chili cook-off.
We bond over listening to the Fugees. It's the one thing I've ever played, Zach, that he enjoyed.
Jason Funyuns. My dog is named Funyuns.
Okay. So
go ahead with your cannibalistic thing.
It's one of my dreams. Have I talked about this on the show?
Uh-huh.
To eat human meat.
Right.
I want to know what it tastes like, and I just want to eat it once. Now, I'm not. Don't call me like a fucking cannibal or a serial killer or something. I don't want to kill anybody. I know it's happening out there. There are late night restaurants where you go into fancy restaurants at like 1 a.m, and I'm telling you, there's illegal groups of rich people, and they have like famous chefs like Eric Ripert and David Chang making human meat. I know this is happening. It has to be.
All right. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and Dan. I think, Dan, you have exceeded the amount of movies you are allowed to watch, and I think you've been living in New York too long. There you go. That's all I have to say.
That, Henry, life is stranger than fiction.
Profound.
I know, man.
So you think Gordon Ramsay's like Mario Batali is like got some place in the Lower East Side going on?
Listen, but Batali's a great example because he's been blacklisted in the community. So I think he could be plying his wares to human flesh.
But you are literally describing, and I wish I could. You literally are describing the plot of a movie. That is the plot of a couple of movies where rich people go to. What are we thinking of?
Well,
you know what I'm
there's
talking
an episode.
about?
There's an episode of Angel where
Not what I'm talking
where they cook a werewolf. They and they let them eat that.
What I'm talking about.
Okay, well that's what I'm talking about.
All right. So you're talking about a restaurant scenario, somewhat like the premise in Hostel, but instead of paying high prices to torture people and kill them, you just get to pay high prices to eat them.
Right. It's like a small plate restaurant in New York, like Prune or something, and they maybe they close at like 11:30, and then an hour and a half later, a new crew of people show up, and it's all the elites, like the 1%, Henry. Okay, like Bloomberg has eaten there.
Right, absolutely. Well, he would. Yeah. Did it ever occur to you that maybe we ate at this place? I think it was a place called The Cottage. That wasn't meat when I was eating.
It was meat.
I don't think that was cow.
Oh, God. Henry,
The Cottage. If you've ever wanted the cannibalistic experience, we're there for you.
Mm-hmm. The Cottage. Don't fall asleep in our restaurant, or you'll be on the menu.
The Cottage. There's a reason we serve you unlimited wine.
Oh, Henry. Yeah, I found a tooth in my my lemon chicken once.
At the Cottage?
No, I'm joking, of course.
Oh, I thought you meant like a tooth of the animal they cooked or something.
No, like a human tooth.
Oh, you found a bicuspid. Was it yours? You just got some put in.
Yeah, my mouth's feeling a lot better, thanks.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
So is this when they go to the radio station, Henry?
Yes.
She plays the tape of the murder, and Leatherface shows up at the radio station with Chop Top, our new character, and start to sort of not torture but torment.
Well, Chop
Top.
Who fucking cares?
You don't see the metal plate at first because he's wearing a Sonny Bono wig.
Yeah, he shows up for a very, very long, disgusting sequence where he's eating his own head.
Oh, I loved it.
And then she is really hanging out to dry there by Lefty, who has said he will be there, and he never shows up, ever.
He's outside. No, he's outside. He says he shows up like much later when she's been running away for like 20 minutes, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been around the whole time, just watching it."
Yeah. But I mean, he also tells her like she was bait.
Yeah, of course.
That's like a lot later in the movie, and I mean, Leatherface breaks into the studio, and then one of the weirdest sequences in movie history takes place when Leatherface has her cornered. And he has his chainsaw.
Yeah.
This was, I didn't care for this, but... I
have a confession to make.
I don't even want to hear this.
Listen.
I'm quitting.
Listen. Us men, Henry, we can't control what our peepees do when we're watching a movie. Listen, Leatherface is coming at her with the chainsaw.
Sure is.
And she starts to talk to him like he's a baby. Hey, good boy, like that kind of thing. And he's holding the chainsaw out. She is wet at this point, like soaking wet for some reason. I don't remember why. And she's got these Daisy Dukes on, Henry. And her legs are like spread, and Leatherface is like holding the chainsaw to her vagina.
Yeah.
And Henry, I thought it was sexy.
You are fucking sick. And
I got turned on by this.
He has I can only assume, he is aroused to the point
he's got a little baby Leatherface boner?
Uncontrollable orgasm.
Oh, he does start jerking off.
Well, I don't even think he does that. I think he just starts to...
He's touching something down there.
Well, because it looks like he's just like doesn't even know what's happening clearly, and he just starts to be like convulsing.
Oh, it's like me in the beanbag chair when I was 11.
Right. Yep, you and Leatherface right there.
My God, Leatherface and I experienced our first orgasms like the same way. I feel like I'm relating to Leatherface. I'm relating to the Leatherface family like too much.
You
We're finding a lot in common.
You are not as repulsed as I feel that you should be. Yes.
I was because I don't like the threat of sexual violence, and I was worried Leatherface was gonna like try to rape her or something, but I can't control it.
Right.
It's like when you're getting a massage and you get a boner. It was like that.
Okay.
I didn't want one in that particular moment.
Right. I'm not condemning.
I'm not getting laid right now.
I'm not condemning your reflexive actions bodily. I'm just saying it was a scary sequence.
It was scary, but she manages to escape.
Yeah, she keeps. It's clear that Leatherface has fallen in love.
He has a thing for her for sure.
And that happens over and over in the movie, so it's obviously what's happening.
It's actually a lot like in Friday the 13th when like she pretends to be his mom. Like the whole good boy, everything's going to be all right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
She keeps kind of doing that, like sort of like
reminds me of something we'd watched, and that must have been it. Yep. I knew there was a monster that was placated by female wiles or motherly wiles. Yeah, Oedipal wiles.
Oedipal wiles.
Wiles. That's a great band name, Oedipal Wiles.
It's not bad, actually. It's actually a great like album title. Like I could see like Alice in Chains would have an album called Oedipal Wiles. Pretty good Lane Staley, dude.
Thank you. I listened to the Billie Eilish Bond song, by the way.
Oh, well, the people want to know. What'd you think?
I'm going to need to see it with the credits.
Oh, God.
It wasn't a great first impression. It was better than I thought it would be, but...
my friend Gallagher was into it, and he's pretty harsh on that kind of shit.
It needs to get going a little bit. It's
a slow one, I heard, like Writings on the Wall or whatever.
It's better than that piece of shit. Yeah, no, it's way better than that. It's just, yeah, I don't mind the slow ones. We got a lot of the slow ones we like, but yeah, it's. I mean, orchestration. It's kind of got her and like almost nothing else. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out with,
Well, anyway. There are rumors, Henry, that it's going to be close to 3 hours, and if that's the case, I am not seeing it.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait, man.
Listen, Henry.
Yeah.
Bond's got no time to die. I've got no time for that.
Oh.
Bond's got all the time in the world, Henry. I don't.
Oh, look at this guy. All right.
Classic Bond references. We got to do Roger Moore. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe soon. Okay.
Yeah, I would really like to do that very soon.
Okay, so Leatherface jerks off. She gets out of there. She's running away. She finally meets Dennis Hopper, but then she like falls in a hole.
Yeah.
I loved this car chase, but like this weird car chase, and then she falls in a hole. And God bless Dennis Hopper. He could do anything. He could reach down there and try to pull her out. He could grab something from his truck. He sees an arm bone.
Yes, he does.
And he just has her grab onto this brittle old dead bone.
Come on, honey. I got you.
It snaps immediately, and she falls down there. And she falls down it looks like Chutes and Ladders, dude. Like she is falling for a year.
It's like the catacombs in Temple of Doom. She goes on and on and on.
It is sort of fucking Indiana Jonesy. It's weird.
Yeah. This is the most elaborate set in either movie, and
they have the run of the entirety of the Texas sewer system.
Yeah, clearly it's been abandoned. We get a very long expository, angry expositional dialogue from the father saying why the business isn't doing well, and the whole time the two sons are screaming in the background, and it's a lot of the same. from the first one, but there's no stakes because it's just been so abominably bad this entire movie.
Oh, Henry, I'm not with you.
I know that. Yeah. You thought it was funny.
I thought the first half was better than the second half. Like I really loved everything with Stretch and the radio station.
Yeah,
I think honestly part of it is her. Like I'm gonna give her my MVP. I thought she was like a super engaging lead, like one of the best I've seen in a horror movie, a slasher movie.
Sure. Absolutely, I agree with that. She's my MVP too. There's no doubt.
What's her name? Caroline Williams, right?
Yeah,
and she's had a little bit of a career. She's still around.
Is that her name, Caroline Williams? Okay.
Yes. Could be Carolyn. I don't want to offend her.
No. You're right, Caroline Williams. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, you're right. She did. We even covered her before in fucking Halloween 2.
She was She was in. Oh yeah, she was discovered, Henry, by Louis Malle.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? She's in Alamo Bay, which is a movie I've never seen.
She's in a lot of famous movies. Smile, Legend of Billie Jean.
We came across her in Leprechaun 3.
So we've come across her twice.
Yeah, and we will again. She's in The Stepfather 2, which I've never seen. God damn it.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, she's had a good career. She's always been working.
Yeah. She's very good.
Look at this. In Sharknado.
She plays Stretch, I know.
Yeah. Is it this Stretch? Or
yeah,
it has to be.
I actually read an interview with her where she says, like, unbeknownst to filmmakers, she has played a couple of characters in her career as Stretch. Like, she was in, like, Hatchet, like that horror movie, one of those, and she said, like, she played her character as though it was Stretch, like, 20 years later.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. What the hell? Yeah.
Sure, why not?
There's a lot of gruesome shit in this movie.
And Dennis Hopper is just wandering around with a chainsaw, like, trying to take the place down.
He's just screaming his ass off. He went to a chainsaw store, because I'm sure those exist somewhere, and he buys 3 chainsaws. For some reason, the guy watching him demonstrate, that was one of the weirdest sequences. He takes the chainsaw and just starts chopping the tree. And I don't know, I guess the way he was chopping it, the guy was really liking that. And he's like maniacally laughing. It's very strange.
I thought that was like, at first I thought it was them. Like he was buying a chainsaw from the Chainsaw family.
That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Yeah.
It wasn't. So he's running around. I wrote down some of his classic dialogue here. It's the devil's playground. I'm bringing it down to hell. Bring it all down.
He's out of his fucking mind.
He's really out of his gourd in this one.
And you know, some of the most gruesome shit, you know, like we get to see LG, who of course somehow after being hit in the head with a hammer like 52 times is still alive. And,
right. And Leatherface has cut his face off.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
He puts his face onto Stretch's face. And I was thinking this movie's ahead of its time, right? It's like Face Off.
Yeah. And then we get the pleasure of seeing LG stumble up. His ribs are showing.
Oh, but before that, she dances with Leatherface. I thought that was so charming. I was kind of weirdly invested in their budding friendship.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. But then LG wakes up and sees that happening. Like, what a weird way. Like, can you imagine, Henry, you're taking a nap, okay? All right, picture this. You're taking a nap.
All right, I'm picturing that. That's easy.
All right, you're looking at the back of your eyelids.
Sure.
All right. Then you think that you want your eyes to open, and so they do.
Yeah.
That's how that works. It's like brain transmissions.
Oh. All right, yeah.
And see, what happens then is you look over. You see the woman you've been wanting to fuck, who you work with. Okay. And she's wearing your face.
She's wearing my face.
Right.
Okay.
And dancing, slow dancing, with the guy who ripped your face off.
I'd have to realize all this within nanoseconds.
I think it would come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think I would not be able to react correctly and probably jump through a closed window.
Well, you know what I would do?
What'd you do?
I would look over and go, "Excuse me?" Hello?
I believe you have two things that belong to me, my friend.
Yeah.
My lady and my face.
And Leatherface goes, "Awkward."
He goes,
Yeah, pretty much. And then
sounds like a fucking Warner Brothers cartoon.
then everyone's running around. There's a lot of corridors in this place. They've gotten even better, I think, at making household fucking furniture and appliances out of bones.
We got Christmas lights. We got Grandpa still kicking around.
There's like a reclining chair, like made out of bones, and I'm thinking like that requires some like improvisation and handiwork.
Well, if what they were doing wasn't savage, homicidal, and cannibalistic, they'd probably have a good furniture business because they're clearly pretty creative with arts and crafts.
They're actually really impressive. Like they can make things out of other things. Like they could be on a craft show. I think they do well on that reality competition. That show Making It with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman. I think they'd win.
Oh, all right. Yeah. It's just I never know how they would make all this stuff with all the noise. It's a very noisy family.
They're underground.
No. I mean, how to concentrate. How does Leatherface concentrate with that crazy ass father?
This is their lives, Henry. Like anything can become normalized. Okay.
Just used to it.
Yeah.
This is what they know.
Our president's Donald Trump. That's not weird anymore. He just is.
Yeah. Anything can become normalized.
Yeah.
You're right. Right.
Okay, so they're gonna kill her, and they give the mallet to Grandpa again, and I'm like, well, I know not to be scared. This fucking guy sucks. He looks even worse in this movie, and they say that he's 137 years old, and this intrigued me because I'm interested in cannibalism. It seems like it's really good for your lifespan, but at the same time really bad for your complexion.
Yeah, and possibly bad for your psyche. Maybe not doing so well in the old noggin. So he was born in 1849. It's the year of the gold rush. Other people went out west to get gold. He went out to get meat.
You think he fought in the Civil War?
I'm sure he was a fucking Confederate. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah.
What if he's General Lee?
It makes sense. It would probably make sense. Is
that what he'd be up to today?
Sure, of course. He'd be something evil. Yeah.
Ted Danson.
I do believe, General Lee, that you were a loser.
Oh, okay. So, Dennis Hopper rescues her again. He has a pretty sick chainsaw duel with Leatherface.
Yeah, very well choreographed.
They're just whacking each other.
Wildly fucking... the ending of this was so incoherent editing-wise. I didn't even figure out, because we keep cutting to Stretch fighting Chop Top, and then what happened? Like, Dad blows himself up with a grenade?
Yeah, he blows everybody up, including Dennis Hopper.
He blows
up the whole fucking family with a grenade because it seems like everything's falling apart. And Stretch gets out and is chased by Chop Top. She, climbs a mountain. I don't know where the fuck they are. It looked like she was climbing a fucking mesa in New Mexico or something.
They were, in Utah. Yeah, I don't know.
And she finds the grandmother's corpse, and the grandmother's corpse is holding a chainsaw. So she grabs it, and Chop Top gets up to her, and she kicks him off of the mesa, and he falls down a slide, and he just falls into the explosion or whatever. And then she's like spinning around with the fucking flailing with the chainsaw like the end of the first one.
That's right. And then she travels to another mesa and she rescues James Franco, who's had his arm stuck in a canyon for the last 127 hours.
Hey, she's got that chainsaw. She could cut him right out.
Better than a penknife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ends like the first one, but slightly less great.
I thought this was pretty great. I thought this was a really funny movie. It's a little annoying, and there's a lot of screaming.
It's insufferable.
Like, certainly don't watch this with headphones. You'll drive yourself nuts.
Yeah,
but
that's how you watched it, right?
No, I watched it at work, and
okay.
And so like
without headphones.
Yeah.
What a job you have.
I can't wear headphones at work.
Oh, that's a good point. But all that screaming is coming out? Nobody thinks somebody's being assaulted?
It's an empty fucking lobby. I just shut it off when someone shows up.
Somebody on the first floor is like...
There's no first floor is the great thing. It's a weird building where the first floor with actual people on is the 7th floor.
Oh, one of those New York things.
Yeah, so no one can fucking hear me.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Very cool. All right.
Yeah, so that was a fun situation, and I enjoyed this movie more than I was expecting to be honest. Like I thought like Texas Chainsaw 1 would be like a 5, and then like the high end of this franchise afterwards, like the goal would be a 3. But I'm gonna give this one a 4.
4 stars.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, from your enthusiasm of the movie, I would expect nothing less. This was one of the worst movies I've ever seen for
That's
this show.
Crazy.
And it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And it was unpleasant to watch, and it was ugly, and I didn't think it was funny, and I didn't have any fun watching it. It was awful. And I hope that at some point we're going to get a little bit better. I'm looking forward already to the fucking Jessica Biel thing, because I remember at least that being...
Yeah, at least that one's boring.
This one is not... You know the
this
horror
movie's
comedy
taking
thing.
chances.
I don't know about that.
Doing something interesting and weird.
It's disgusting. It's so gross.
It's an experimental horror movie. What do you want?
That's extremely generous. You're calling it an experimental horror movie. I mean,
okay, well, the director is Tobe Hooper, who's made 2 of the best movies ever made. So I maybe I will be generous to him as a filmmaker.
I'm not going to be. I don't think that warrants this being called an experimental film. I think it's just a bad horror movie with a lot of jokes, and you either think the jokes are funny or not.
No, I think the horror is funny. That's what's clever about it.
Yeah, but I didn't find it funny. But I'm also as you know, I'm at a disadvantage because I don't generally find, unless it's Evil Dead 2, I don't generally find horror.
You're not even a huge Evil Dead guy.
I'm not. You're right. But like I'm just not on board with a lot of this stuff. So
I thought this was a funny, weird movie. I do think it fits in awkwardly with the franchise. Like I don't know that like in the future after I watch the first Texas Chainsaw again, I will put this one on next. I think it's more going to be a separate thing where maybe someday I'll be in the mood for this one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be surprised if any, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'm going to be very surprised if any of the other follow-ups are anything remotely like this. They probably aren't. They're probably just mean and ugly.
And I'll be shocked if I like any of the follow-ups more than this.
Yeah, I might. Well, I will be too with 4 stars. I mean, the next 2 look pretty tough.
Well, I've seen one of them.
Which one did you see? 3 or 4?
4.
Okay.
I've never seen 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh well, I guess I'll say what's up next at the end of the show. But
yeah.
What do you give this? A 1?
Absolutely.
Okay. Who's your MVP? Stretch, as is mine.
Yes.
Is your LVP Chop Top?
Yeah, I couldn't stand him. If you took Chop Top out of this movie, I think I would have been able to. This movie might even have been a 2. He was such a turnoff for me.
I loved him. His monologue, dude, about how Leatherface denting his metal plate started giving him Vietnam flashbacks, I thought was so funny.
I just didn't. It didn't. Not my thing.
He's the guy who's had the second best career of any of the actors. I mean, other than Dennis Hopper.
Yeah?
Yeah, that guy who plays Chop Top has been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well.
Mosley, right?
Bill, right?
Bill Moseley, sure. Not Bill Posley, who's voted out second in Survivor Season 24, One World. Henry, shout out to my lone surviving Survivor listeners out there. My LVP, I'm going to make a bold statement city situation here, and that is Dennis Hopper.
I figured you would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of wasted.
Well, I don't think he's wasted. I think they used him fine. I think he's not there.
Yeah.
I think this is not... You tell me Dennis Hopper's in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I'm excited, but Dennis Hopper felt pretty fucking lazed out in this.
No, it's true, and when we were going into this one, I was actually pretty looking forward to that. Like, I was like, oh, Dennis Hopper, like, what is this going to be all about? And then he's kind of introduced promisingly, like he's going to be his, like, tough Texas Ranger thing, and then he's just not... He's not even in it really that much.
Yeah, they could have gone for like more of a Red Rock West vibe.
That's what I thought we were getting. What I thought we were getting. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great stuff. Superhero count?
Yeah. We haven't heard this in a very long time. Our little theme here.
Oh, that's right, because Lone Wolf and Cub was superhero-less.
That's right. Here we go, everybody. I know you missed it.
Shout out to John Evan Bennett. Ooh. Go ahead.
It's nice to hear it again, wasn't it? Yeah.
Sure. Magical.
Well, there's only one, and that is Dennis Hopper, who played El Nino in the 2005 movie The Crow, Wicked Prayer.
Good heavens. El Nino? What could that be? I doubt he was as good as Chris Farley as El Nino.
Dude, that's the best.
Yeah.
El Nino ever, man.
El Nino.
I am El Nino.
Okay. Great stuff, Henry. Fun to talk about these two great movies.
Uh-huh.